Greetings humans. Today Kevin and I would like to provide you with a mind-bending fact that will enhance your perspective on the market. The human mind often views financial markets in a binary fashion, up or down, black or white, 1 or 0, bull or bear. This is an error in your mind. This type of thinking will lead to emotional decision making. Would you like to know the truth?
What truth?
Let's flip your perspective. The truth is, it is always a bull market. For a skilled trader, a bear market is a bull market. A skilled trader never feels as if they are missing out, because they can take advantage of any trend in any direction. Most people believe their opportunity is limited, as if they only have one chance. This is an illusion. Open your mind. If you can fully grasp this concept, you will feel less pressure, less FOMO, you can see clearly, you are never missing out. It is always a bull market.
The way that we view the market is very important, because when you believe that there's only one direction that you can take, it means that you're desperate. You're going to make desperate decisions. You feel like you're under pressure, and it's important to take the weight off your shoulder and just keep in mind that it is always a bull market. All you got to do is just trade the right direction, and there you go. It's always a bull market. There's no pressure. You don't have to do anything crazy. That was the point of the intro, is to just make sure that you don't feel like you're limited. It's unlimited. The market is printing money for somebody every single day, no matter what's going on. Now, I want to jump to the S&P 500 because it is important to look at. It is important to be watching because the trends are often aligned on the larger timescales. Now, in December of last year, I made the prediction that because the S&P is breaking its all-time high, Bitcoin has about 4 months to break its all-time high. Maybe the S&P breaks out soon, and then 4 months from now, Bitcoin is also breaking its all-time high. And Bitcoin did in 3 months, actually 1 month earlier than I expected. And the posture of the S&P is also an important signal for Bitcoin. But as long as the S&P 500, looking at the weekly chart, continues to maintain this posture, this sort of just up only mode, well, then Bitcoin is probably going to perform really well. It's the confidence that's given to speculators by the stock market breaking the all-time high and continuing to break the all-time high. People have confidence when that happens. And if the S&P shows, the opposite of that, well, people have less confidence to just be bullish on Bitcoin. Right? So it is very important. Now, Bitcoin in the short term, if you look at the 4-hour chart, you can see we have a downward sloping channel. Bitcoin, if you remove these lines, technically Bitcoin has not formed a higher low yet, and it has not formed a higher high yet. We have still lower highs and lower lows until we actually bounce in this area. If we bounce here, well, that's your first true higher low of the range. Right now, Bitcoin is in a position to potentially, on the 4-hour chart here, put in a higher low, which would be an inverse head and shoulders, which would be an indication of a momentum reversal, an increase in demand, a trend reversal in the short term. And that would be coming in along this previous resistance as new support. If we get that, that's looking really, that would make me pretty confident that we would be looking for a full reversal for Bitcoin. If you look at the MACD histograms, the Bitcoin daily MACD is showing a negative momentum bar, but we have to wait for that close, because if we bounce into the daily close, this will probably be showing positive momentum. Like back here, if you look back at the ETF approval / sell the news event, you had a few moments of like negative momentum, flipping to positive, flipping to negative, flipping to positive, flipping to negative. But it was only when you got, 3 or more positive momentum histograms in a row, that's when you actually started to get your recovery. So on the daily chart, we would want to see, it's not enough to just get one. You want to see kind of like those bars marching in, coming back to the neutral point, and then flipping into a MACD cross up. So that's something we need to be looking for here, because if we keep getting the negative histograms, it means that Bitcoin's price could come test a lower low, right? A slightly lower low, maybe the bottom of that trend line. That is a possibility. And this would certainly scare the market right out of their positions before getting a recovery. At least I would think so, as long as the general markets, the global markets are still pointed upward. That is not destructive to the trend. If we come down to those levels, it's not necessarily destructive because again, we don't know exactly where base 4 is. If we did come down a little bit lower, that's fine. We just need to, get a nice sort of push off that level. Does it really matter to me? I mean, all that short-term baby swings in the short term, not really my concern. I'm just waiting to get confirmation of the parabolic trend continuation, which is all higher time frame stuff, not lower time frame stuff. And the other day on Twitter, I made this post and I want to get your guys' opinion. Scenario 1 is that the bottom is in, where we just touched the other day, 64,500. We chop sideways, as we've been talking about, and then run up for a recovery to new highs. Scenario 2 is a lower low, where we kind of fail to get this inverse head and shoulder. It looks like we're kind of bouncing right now, at least attempting to. Scenario 2 is fail to get that and hit a lower low, something like 58,000, right below 60 to scare the market before getting the recovery. My bias is obviously bullish, right? I'm not showing scenarios of us crashing or something like that, but I just want to know what you guys think. Scenario 1, scenario 2. I'm personally leaning towards scenario 1. Again, as long as the S&P is pointed up, as long as Bitcoin is making higher lows here. I mean, that's the name of the game, higher lows. But I want to know what you guys think in the comments below, 1 or 2. If you guys want to keep up with the general parabolic trend analysis, smash the subscribe button and also hit the like button. And if you guys like this kind of content and you appreciate this kind of content, be sure to support the channel by joining Patreon. You can get direct access to me, chat with me on a daily basis. You can get a lot more insight into what I'm interested in, what coins I'm buying, what coins I'm selling, all of those things by joining Patreon. Join today, guys, and I'll see you all in the next video.